59 yards for him on the ground. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25
Lynn Bowden, look at
all
that
the way to the
motherfucker's
red
tired.
zone now for 1st and 10.
That's his first run in fucking
He'll
like
look
8
to
goddamn
throw.
weeks.
That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does
And he's
reach
hurt.
the 5. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Hey, you got what you accomplished. Okay?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line
so
of
would I,
scrimmage.
because then Lynn Bowden
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. Being chased out left. He'll run it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up
We're just
3rd.
going to keep this motherfucker.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage.
Sir.
But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Well, you know what? He has nails, Tammy.
They'll look to throw.
He has nails.
This is going to be
What do you mean, oh my God? You fucking got
Eddie
it.
Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember,
Oh, you think you can fucking have back draw me?
On the job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
You had like 2 fingers. Oh,
This
he's
is
an outside
Hines.
run.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck play you're running, but...
From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is
There's no
taking over.
bullshit.
They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Well, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game.
Why did they
to
put
just
him in?
short runs, because he can really impact this offense.
No. Get out of bounds.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First
I'm
down
not
and
risking
10.
this motherfucker. Might as well just sit him out because I don't want to fucking... His injury's like a 2 now.
The
He gets
Packer
hurt one
offense
time,
ready to get their next
and
drive
it's
underway.
literally the end of his
Well,
fucking
they were
career.
intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is?
Oh,
In
we
the
almost
double
got it.
coverage, and it's intercepted. Eddie
Oh, you think
Jackson
he can
picks
out?
it.
Nope, not Nikhil Harry.
And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Is that running back? Oh, you think you can fucking
Trubisky.
take me out and shit? Oh, we're just going to cut back.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in. And
please tell me. Oh, my, what are you doing?
They're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Do me a favor and just keep Limbo out of the fucking game. I'd rather he just didn't play at all. I'd rather sit him so that
the Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback to know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey.
They've got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
As we've seen over the years, offensive coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover, put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked.
Oh, God. That is how you throw the ball.
Swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Okay.
Staying on his feet.
That's what I'm talking about.
Pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw here. It's caught by Bryant. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Bears take over.
You know who my backup is? Trash
on
cans.
1st and 10 at the 20.
A superstar fucking ass. Oh, you want to fucking run the ball?
On the ground with Hines. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 24, Trubisky. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Oh, now you want to say the first quarter's over?
We're scoreless after 1. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Well, keep the ball out of his hands. We're just gonna fucking piss pound him, bruh. Oh my God.
Dancing to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. He fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling.
Barry Sanders is back in the backfield. He's out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
He literally would have been like a 95 probably by the end of this season.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3.
Oh, I love it. You see how well he passed that ball right there?
Khalil Mack, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Hell yeah.
He's
That's what I
going to
like
go
to see.
down again. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out, and his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs
that's a good question.
obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Right there.
Now it's Trubisky. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Mike 5-4.
Now it's Trubisky. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
You know, at this point, I don't even want to see the Eagles mock draft because they're fucking stupid.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
No,
They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, 1st down. Now a deep ball here. Coleman just past the 50. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Paris Campbell with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6.
God.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post?
Jake Fromm was literally like practically on the ground, arm fucking bent beyond
The catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Oh, fuck.
That's fielded in
He's just
the
mad
end
because
zone.
Lindbone the dog.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Okay, all that happened.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Dean Lowry make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Trubisky to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep. And that's caught inside the 35.
What in the Madden bullshit was that?
Touchdown, Chicago.
No, it shouldn't have been picked. I wasn't even close to this
His second touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. They have to be careful on it, not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to air one out.
Chuck that bitch.
And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th, now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Tackle made by Tyus Bowser.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Out of the gun now on third down. Got his man. That's Harry. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
On second down now, it's Taylor, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
18.
Yesterday you were.
54 Mike. Check. Watch.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
What happened?
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson. 78 yards, and the Bears cut into that lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, exit. Ready.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Eddie Jackson picks it. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Trubisky now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
To throw again on second down. Trubisky. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. O.J. Howard with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. A little juke. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll look to throw here. Catch made here by Campbell. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now he'll let it go deep left side.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Khalil Mack. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. That's taken at around the 40. That'll be a 50-yard punt with...
It was fucked up on the front court. Oh, on crossover night? Wait, I think that's in the fucking... That's gotta be in the... It's in the group chat. Yeah. It's in the... But that's my poor boy. Look like he's ready to suck some dick. Andrew, on my live, you look at the pictures now. It was his crossover night, and he was fucked up.
On the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, I tell you, I think by definition you won't get any closer to equaling the record than that.
Not at all. 64 yards, end over end. And I think he's going to come up about a half a revolution short. And that could really have bounced either way.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And they give this time to the tailback. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 38.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll set up to throw. Complete to Bryant. Pushing his way through. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Go now. 8 reads. Hey, wahoo! 55.
He'll drop to throw. Steps away. And now he's going to use his legs. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
A matter of
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now. They'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he...
Now Trubisky lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Fly like 20 yards, and then somehow somebody will intercept it.
Throwing here, Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Packers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll drop the throw. Looking deep for Julio. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. And that has to drive a coach crazy.
Well, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
Here's Taylor, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Touchdown, Packers! Paris Campbell, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 22, Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. And they take a knee. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here. And well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense.